right, so we are back for our podcast. We've actually been pretty good about keeping on track.
Are we on? I was just trying to think of what episode we were on. We're on season 3, episode 4.
Well, it should be 5, because remember we were going to do 2 a month. Did we do 2 for February?
No.
Oh, so then we're on episode 4. Then we're on 4.
Yeah, no, we got a little behind.
We got a little bit behind. So February was kind of a weird month, though, and it threw us off a lot.
Yeah, we just blame on the fact that it's a short month. It was only like 2 days short.
Yeah, true. And it was a leap year.
We are on the road, so again, pardon the background noise. I feel like that's the only time we ever sit down and actually take the time to make TikToks these days. Or TikToks. Podcasts.
I know. They're our car ASMR podcast. So, we wanted to talk about the difference of this lifestyle versus working in a business in it versus actually enjoying it.
Yes.
Thank you for checking out the Impulsive Duo podcast. Remember, our content is for 18 and over. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
Because our that's what we do for a living now is, a lot of the lifestyle has become a job for us. We feel like a lot of our life is wrapped up in it. It doesn't feel like our day-to-day life is wrapped up, but like on a business level, like it's kind of like always topic of conversation and who we're dealing with and the content we post and things like that. The event,
We're always talking a lot about the lifestyle and meeting up with people, even if it's just for them to pick our brains or for us to get inspiration. And going to events and it's a lot. A lot of it is lifestyle driven.
Yeah, and so then we also have to kind of find where how do you find that balance between work and play and separating the two?
Yeah.
Between social media and then our real life, because it's funny, it's like on social media it looks like, oh, we go to these events, we do these things, we work with these people, but that's only 5% of our actual life. Like we have a real life here with that's very monogamous and kids events and working, and then we have a lot of friends here, that people like locally in our town that we hang out with, and that's what I consider our actual life.
Yes.
Not what is portrayed always on social media. Or in the business sense.
Yes, I think a lot of what you see on social media is just that. It's social media, and I think you forget that too, that it's not reality. Mm-hmm. But it took away, and it takes away a lot of the fun of this lifestyle. And
yeah, it really does. Especially like last year. We went through some stuff last year, drama with some people, communities in the lifestyle and business stuff, and we just kind of got really turned off by a lot of it, and I think we just kind of stepped away. It just wasn't fun anymore because we were focused so much on growing our company, growing our business, Unicorn Landing, and our podcast and everything we do, and wanting to be a part of the, social media world, because that's where
it's our advertising driving force. It's important to do. We have to do it because it advertises the app.
Yeah. But we weren't actually creating a lifestyle life or community. There was events here and things like that, but we weren't really playing or having fun or getting to know people.
We didn't want to play almost.
No.
It was like we were turned off by people. We focused a lot on ourselves and isolated ourselves, I think, a decent amount. And we had just a bad taste in our mouth from when you go through some bad shit, it just... It taints it all, and you're like, why are we even doing this? Like, I'm happy with you.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. It was nothing like anything was missing, so I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, I don't even want to deal with half these people. Our local lifestyle event center has events, and we would go sometimes, but there wasn't a ton of people that we're, really interested in playing with. We'd had a couple interesting experiences here. I'll never say anything was like that bad.
No.
We didn't have anything like crazy happen, but just to the point where we were like, meh.
Yeah. It was...
And then it was always about, people wanting to make content, and we just kind of got turned off by that, too, because we don't consider swinging and making OnlyFans content the same thing, and it just wasn't fun. It was just work, always work.
Yeah, and that was what it all was last year's. It was constantly, if it did come to... We didn't swing, really. We were like, okay, who can we make content with? We need to make a new video. We need the money, because this is, it was just all work, and it was not fun, and it sucked.
Yeah, and then on top of how difficult it is to find people to play with, and so it was like kind of just, we kind of walked away from doing too much. And we had a few experiences, with friends when we traveled, and we had a couple experiences last year that weren't, that were fine and were great.
Yeah.
And so it was just, but those were
few and far in between. And they were in the very beginning of the year, too.
Well, we did in September, but we traveled to an event that we did, and we did stay with some friends. We knew that, could be a possibility.
Yeah.
And we all really hit it off. We spent the weekend with them. But again, it was traveling. It wasn't like our home community. So this year, we decided in 2024 that we were going to focus a lot more on, yes, our business is growing. We hustled. We're doing really well. And we were like, I like women. I was like, I want to get back to the point where this was fun. We're just supposed to be like finding, spicy friends to play with and cute girls to make out with. Like, I was like, what happened to this? I sit on social media all day and promote this, like, unicorn landing, and promote women approaching, women, and talked about all this and embracing your sexuality. And then I was just like over it myself. So we decided in 2024 that we were going to have more fun with it.
We're going to have more fun with it. We're actually going to make it enjoyable.
Yeah, we're like, let's have the lifestyle be fun again. And I was going to work on being a little more assertive and not friend zoning everybody like I tend to do.
You're a very good friend zoner. We have lots of bisexual females that are friends of ours, and that is all they are.
Yeah, I've gotten a little better.
You have gotten a lot better.
I'm working on it.
You have.
So we just kind of joked. What did we joke?
Well, we kind of joked of like, let's make it fun, because I find games fun. And I am, and maybe it's because I don't have any kids myself or whatever, but like, if you can make life a game, I think it's just more fun. And so it was like, hey, let's do 12 and 12. Let's put this together. Let's see if we can play with 12 different couples or unicorns, or just 12 different experiences
in 12 months. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that like my biggest thing with that was like, it's not like we just play with somebody and then we're like, okay, you were April, bye, never talk to you again.
Right.
Like, they're definitely like, we would like new experiences to meet new people, but also we can repeat play, and we still talk to everybody that we.
Oh yeah, we still talk. And every month, and it's funny because even like January and even this month, like, we played twice.
Yeah, we played twice in January, and it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Our last podcast, actually, the one before this, was about sexual compatibility.
That's right.
That was that play weekend.
Yep.
And we did play twice in January, and it was a little bit unexpected. One of them was, and it was super fun.
Super fun.
Great connection. And then February came, and let's see, kids were sick. Kids got the flu.
We got the flu.
We got the stomach flu. We had our event in Whispers, which we thought maybe something would happen down in Vegas, but it was just.
We're not the best usually when it travels. I think we're more in the spicy mood. Like, I am, just like with you, when we travel, it's more of like, hey, let's do something. But it's so hard to.
Yeah, I get the spicy. But when we're hosting an event, like, we have to be just like on the whole night. Like, I don't like to focus my attention on just one, singular person or couple or anything, because I'm trying to talk to everybody. And it was, it was Super Bowl weekend, and it was a lot of people there, and it was a lot of fun, but just, it wasn't really the play. No, it never really led that way. And we were staying with some friends at their house, like, not lifestyle wise, and so it was.
It was mellow.
Yeah, it was just a mellow, fun weekend, and it just didn't happen, which was fine, and we weren't even really expecting it to going into it. Then the weekend after, we got sick, and then we were like, oh shit, it's the end of February.
It's the end of February. Oh no, we have to find someone.
Yeah.
But then that's also when we decided, like, the whole point of it being fun is like, not like, there's people that we could have played with, but do we really want to play with them, if that makes sense? Like, you have the right to be picky. You have the right to be excited.
I'm not going to lower my standards. We're not going to also just do it just to do it and get a number or anything like that. Like, we don't need a body count. I was like, I want to be excited about it, because even that last night, we did have a couple where, like, if we really wanted to do this, we could.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm just really not in the mood. I'm not really feeling it with this couple. I'm not really, like...
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do it just to do it. And we were supposed to hang out with a unicorn who we do like, but she ended up having to work late. And I was like, I'm not going to force something that's not going to happen. So it didn't happen in February, but then the following weekend.
The following weekend, what happened, babe?
Well, I had like 3 all of a sudden lined up. Like, just well, it's because I started being more aggressive and putting it out there. And I thought that people were going to be really, like, turned off by this, but people were like, hell yeah, when we play, that sounds fun. And like, I was making more of an effort, like setting up dinner dates, play dates, things like that. I was like, oh, so when you actually do make the effort and be a little bit assertive, you can make it happen.
Well, it's one of those things too, is you think like, oh my God, if I throw out there like, hey, I want to hook up with some people, who wants to play, that people are going to slam you and be like, oh, you're a whore. Like, just think,
while it
But
is
we're
fun.
all in this lifestyle to have fun. So when you actually do
Yeah, it
throw
wasn't
that
just like
out there,
random people you're finding. It's
Yeah.
lifestyle people who I've talked to for a while, girls that I've known for months and months. Or, I mean, one of the girls I talked to for the first time back in April,
Yeah.
leg licking girl, which
Uh-huh.
if anybody saw that story on my social media, and you may have heard us talk about it in our podcast, but
That was a lot of fun.
So we finally set, play, like her and I had set that up weeks before. Like that was, we're like, hey, when can we finally get together? No kids, no, no work, like custody, like it took us a while to figure it out, but we finally were like, hey, this date, put it on the calendar. We like weeks in advance.
Yeah, and that's actually, and it's funny because like one of my things was I hate having this planned out and all this.
But you kind of have to
You
sometimes in
do.
that sense. Like when you've got kids and you're really working with like 2 different schedules and work schedules and life, and I only, I share custody with my son, so I don't plan things, when I have him, and so it's like, sorry, these are I'm free this day at 7:00, and that's it for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much how our life works. So you kind of have to plan it, especially if you've met up several times and you want to play. I mean, yeah, you can also get to the dinner, and if you're just not feeling it, one of you's tired, one of you's not feeling great, that's totally fine too.
Yeah.
So like it has to happen. But you talk about that the opportunity may be there if we're all feeling the vibe.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
And a lot of it, I think, also goes into, I think I more of my thing was, like, I didn't like it when it was, like, forced to play or whatever. But we've changed it up so much that we only play with people that match our energy.
Yeah,
So now they're fun. Now it's like, I don't mind. And now you're, like, looking forward to it.
Yeah, you hung out with this girl several times. And so, so did I. And so it was like, we all hung out together.
Right.
And so it was like, we setting it up, but we all knew that vibe has been there before. Like, we all wanted to. It was just finding the opportunity to getting a hotel, all of that.
Yeah.
So we went to a nice dinner, and then I was like, well, we have a hotel if we all want to go and
have some fun.
have some desserts. So we did.
And that's where you learn that it's okay to make out with girls in front of me again. For the umpteenth time. It is very cute. But I wonder how many women actually struggle with that, because I'm sure women do.
Yeah, do women out there struggle with this? So, like, I have had a crush on this girl since, like, last April. If you listen to stories about leg licking girl, I found this girl at a club in Portland, so not even in our hometown. Found out she lived here, but I didn't get her name. And then the next, like, we at the club, the night leaves, nothing happened. I can't find this girl. I ended up finding her, like, months later. We've been hanging out a few times, blah, 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 blah. All the stories on my social media, my TikTok, if you want to hear the story. But she, so I've had this crush on this girl for a long time. Eric has met her several times. Obviously thinks she's very cute too. Was totally down. Likes her personality. She's very cool. And so he, of course, was, not to be, but he's just along for the ride. He was very down.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was forcing him to do anything, but we get there, we get to the hotel. And, like, luckily she's kind of assertive girl, which I need sometimes.
She's very assertive.
Yeah, she's very assertive, because I get a little bit, like, I'm just sitting there, back off. I'm sitting there with this girl, on the couch, and she's being, kind of being, like, cuddly up next to me and stuff, and I don't know, I think because you and I have a little bit in the past talked about how, like, you want to make sure, like, Eric doesn't mind the lifestyle, but it's like, if I'm, we're giving other people our attention, or there's like that cuddling, I don't know, I get worried that you're gonna feel like
not part of it.
Yeah, not part of it, or like you're gonna feel like insecure about it. I mean, that just still, I think, pops up in the back of my head. But I also know that that I've had a crush on this girl, so I don't know. It's like,
and we're all gonna fuck. It's inevitable. Like, we're all there. We all are like, yep, this is going to happen. So it's, I don't know. It's that mental block for you that it's like, you're there. Like, are you going to be mad at me? Or
yeah, I get a little bit like, so I'm like, and then her and I start like making out and just playing, and Eric's just like kind of like watching.
I was just enjoying the show, and it was fun to watch you guys just making out and stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes I just am like, does he not feel like he's being included? So I was like, you can come sit over here on the couch with us.
No.
You were like, I'm good.
I'm good. I'm gonna hang out over. I'm gonna do my thing, and I'll do you both, but I'll do it at my pace.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. And so I was like, Candice, get past this. Like, he is excited for this too. He's excited for you.
I was excited for you. I was like, dude, you've been excited about this for a while.
Yeah. So obviously I kind of got past that, like got more into it, and then, obviously one thing led to another, and we all ended up like playing
Yeah.
Twister.
We all had a lot of fun.
Twister on the bed.
Uh-huh.
Eric learned a few new moves.
Dude, I was impressed with my moves. I wanted to high five myself.
What was your move?
Where I was in you from behind, like on the side, and then I'm fucking
But I'm
you
like,
on
but
the
like
side.
I'm on the side and I'm like facing her a little
You're
bit.
facing her, and then she has her legs wrapped around my shoulders, and I'm eating her out while in you, and then you two are like looking at each other and
like,
like
making out and
kissing each
touching,
other and like touching each other's boobs and stuff, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing in the world. I'm like, I never, why? It's like literally as I was doing all that, I'm like, why have I never ever done this before in my life like this? Like, this is the coolest move ever. Like, I want to like teach people this move.
Yeah. Well, then there was one point where you were like kind of in us, like in me and in her, but like she was kind of like on me too.
Yes.
And I could like it was just like a pile of people. It was so hot. It ended up being really fun.
Yes.
It was really fun.
And it reminds you then of how much fun this is, and it's not work, and it's not business, and it's just enjoyment.
Yeah, there was no cameras in the room, no social media talk, no content. Like, this was strictly just three people attracted to each other, horny as hell, having a good time.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it was. And I was like, this is what I miss. This is what we like about the lifestyle, is like having this fun. And
Yeah, because I think like everyone always, I think it's one of those that it's in our brain that we're like, oh man, to like shoot porn or OnlyFans content, that'd be really hot. And it's not.
Mm-mm.
It's not enjoyable. It's not fun.
You got lights on. You gotta hold certain positions for a long enough time. You gotta like be quiet. You got it's just.
There's nothing hot about it.
No, I mean I suppose you could make it hot if you just like set up a camera in like the corner of the room and just like ignored it and just like went at it, didn't care about anything, and like somebody could watch an actual experience. I think that could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But still, like I know you need lights on, and like not that I need it pitch black. I want to see what I'm doing, but I like the lights down a little low.
It's fun to have a little bit of mood lighting.
Yeah, I don't need like ring lights in my face, and you're like, yep, there's all my cellulite, and then you're subconscious thinking about that. And,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So. Anyways, that was a lot of fun.
It was.
And then we were supposed to have another play date the next night.
I know. And then we never heard back from her.
I know. So this girl had like reached out to me several times from California, and that lives in California, and through Snap. I don't even know how she found it, but she follows me on Snap, and she was like all gung ho. She was like, I'm coming to Boise for a work meeting. Like, I'd love to hang out with you. I was like, okay.
We were actually going to travel home because there was a point where we were like going to see if we could get it like fit in. Remember, we were going to travel home.
Yeah, but then she was going to come the next week.
Yeah.
And and she was like sending me videos and was like gung ho and this and that, and remember sending us like videos, and she's like, I love to suck dick. I'm like, great.
Yeah, you're showing me these videos, and then I'm like, oh, okay, like this will be fun.
We should chomp gum while we're doing that.
And so I remember, so we were supposed to meet up with her, but then we never ended up meeting up with her.
No, and I still haven't heard from her. I messaged her and I was like, hey, did you ever make it to Boise? Nothing. Ghosted.
And that's the thing I think that a lot of times that people don't realize is like we do get a little excited like if we're going to meet up with somebody. Like I think it's kind of inevitable, especially if you're looking forward to it. Like it's okay to be excited to meet up with someone, but also that it is very real that you get ghosted by them or that it cancels or...
Maybe. I don't even know if she ended up coming to Boise. She responded. I'm still on delivered. Like, she never even opened my Snap. So I don't know if she ended up not coming, if she got cold feet, she changed her mind.
Yeah.
Like, I have no clue.
And that's okay.
Now, whatever. I mean, again, she didn't live here, and, like, she's cool. I've talked to her a couple times. But I had talked to her before several times, remember? Mm-hmm. We were going down to California for that Disney. I mean, we were with the kids and stuff, but I was talking to her. And because she was like, oh, my daughter and I were talking about going to Disney. I was like, oh, if you're there, like, say hi. Like, with your,
because that's the thing is, like, it's not... That's the thing I think with us that people sometimes don't quite get, and this is the thing I love about us and I love about the lifestyle. We're not about just fucking people. Mm-hmm. And you see a lot of people that it's like this is their identity is this life, and like... And that was one of the things that always kind of turned me off because I didn't want it to be our identity. It's what we do for a living, in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it is our identity, but people don't realize we have such a normal life outside of it.
Yes, and we like to keep it that way. And
like
so,
right now, we're on a drive to go on vacation. Not lifestyle event.
Not lifestyle event wise.
Just me and my husband go to the Caribbean.
Yep.
We're headed to the Virgin Islands. What was that?
Whoop! Are you a female 18 and over interested in the lifestyle? Make sure to check out Unicorn Landing at unicornlanding.com or download the app on Google Play or iOS.
Who's ready? Always ready. Sorry. If you guys have ever seen like any softball or band stuff, we go to band competitions and there's all these claps and stuff they do.
Chants they do.
Chants and stuff.
And I'm always like, it's like softball chants. And Eric and I make fun of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, no offense to all the band nerds out there.
I know. So we didn't meet up with her, and then the next night
but we went to dinner with friends, which actually was fine because we had this couple that we've been talking to a little bit, and they're very new. They weren't really on board for like the whole couple thing yet, more soft swap, but they just really kind of wanted to pick our brains. We'd matched on an app. They're super cute. And we, they didn't want to get to dinner. And they're like, oh, do you guys want to do dinner? And so actually, in my mind, like, yes, hooking up with this that's the thing that people don't realize. Hooking up with this hot girl that was coming to town sounded really fun.
Yeah.
But also, I was actually more interested in going out to dinner with these people who could potentially be friends and live here. And you know what I mean? To me, that was more appealing than just having to go play and hook up.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of excited to get to know these people just on a friendship level.
Right.
So we went to dinner with them. We went to sushi. We had a lot of fun. We like closed the restaurant down. We were like chatting. It's one of those things where the conversation just like kept going, and it was like 10:30, and we'd been there for like 3.5 hours. We're like, oh.
Yeah, no, and then you're like looking around like, hey, what time does this place close?
Yeah. So that was really fun. So I'm glad we did that, and so it wasn't even really a letdown that nothing happened that night.
No.
So that was fun, and then.
And then the next night we went out with, and we were supposed to go out with.
So we were supposed to go out with the girls. So we've probably talked about it before. We had an experience with a couple like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I'd say. A year and a half ago during the summer, we had this experience with a couple. And it ended up being one of those, we went out to dinner, didn't expect it to happen. Ended up being one of the hottest nights. We've played with this couple twice before. Super, like, the attraction was there for everybody. Like, it was her first time with a girl. Like, it was just a really, really fun night. And we had played with them a couple times, and then we just kind of, they live a little like not close to us, and life kind of moved on. She ended up like he had to have 2 surgeries. She ended up like breaking her leg and having to have knee surgery.
Yeah. And
then they ended up actually breaking up for a little while, or like going just kind of separate directions. They're together, but it was kind of like they weren't like serious.
Yeah.
It was more just like dating and exploring this together. Like she was, had been married for a long time, so had he. Anyways, and kind of when you get older like that, like they weren't. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
So we hadn't really played with them, and we kept in contact, and so her and I had talked, and she kind of told me that they were not really seeing each other. This was like months ago, and I was like, okay. And she's like, yeah, I'd love to have dinner with you and Eric. Like, I miss you guys. And I was like, absolutely. She's like, I want to make out, and I was like, absolutely. Yes, I do.
Uh-huh.
It was hot. So then we were like planning on going out to eat, and then all of a sudden
on the way to dinner she texts and she's like, okay, yeah, we are going to be a little bit late. She ended up like had to put her dog down that day and had a day and and was with her kids, and she said we, and I was like, we. And I was like, oh, I think I want to say his name. I was like, I think he is he coming too?
I was like, yeah.
Is it somebody new?
I said, I didn't know you guys had gotten back together. And she's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Like, I hope that's. I was like, oh yeah, totally fine. I mean, it kind of caught me off guard, and I'm glad I knew before they walked in.
Yeah, it would have been harder to roll through that. It would have been like, did you guys like run into each other on the street? Just having to come in here together? Like,
I know. So I'm glad that I caught all that before they showed up, and even then, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was just because we do like him, and we had all played before, and so it was one of those things where it was like
we all get along.
Yeah, we all get along, and there was so it was fine. I'm just glad that we. Yeah. Like, that would have been weird if they walked in and we'd been like, oh, hi, I didn't know you were coming. So anyways, we had another nice dinner. It was God, we were like back to back. And
then we all ended up playing again.
And then we were like, well, what are you guys doing after dinner? And so we don't like to have people over to our house. I mean, that's kind of always like been our safe space. And just we don't know people very well, and kids are home, but we just happen to like not have kids at home, and
they're really good about when we're done playing, you hang out for like that 10-15 minutes and you're high-fiving each other, and then they're like, okay, I'm tired, but later.
We were all so tired.
And it's none of that awkwardness of like, okay, like get out of the room type deal
Yeah,
now.
and so we were like, we could get a hotel. Then we're like, our rooms, and like we just know them well enough. We've hung out several times. We've played.
We're like, fuck it.
And like they're the type of people that I don't feel weird with them at my house at
Yeah.
all. And so we're like, you just come to our house because we were lived closer to where we could have gone to their house too because he doesn't have kids or anything, but he lived much further.
Right.
So we just ended up coming to our house and we had a great time.
We had a fun time. What do you know?
And I feel like that's the other thing. I mean, not that that's really related to this thing, but like boundaries. Like Eric and I just feel like, just even in the past couple months, I've just let go of so much of the stress of the lifestyle, and it's just been fun again. That like I'm so secure in my relationship. I'm so much more relaxed when it comes to like, because we talk about how boundaries can change over time, and boundaries with certain people and things you want to try, and I guess we're kind of getting to that point finally where I see how people have been in the lifestyle for so long. And I see a lot of people like in Facebook groups doing things like, you know, they've been in the lifestyle for 10 years or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, we have our like, few boundaries. We play together, you know, respect, blah, blah, blah. But we're pretty open to whatever. When you get to that point, when you've experienced and you have that comfort level, like I kind of feel that way with you now where I'm like, I mean, we have our very, you know, our boundaries.
I think I'm a lot more comfortable though, even too, because one, we don't have any stress anymore really work-wise. Like things are good and there's always be work stress, but you know, it is what it is. But I think I'm a lot more secure in our relationship. I think we've grown a lot, even just the amount of times that we've had to overcome shit together.
Yeah, and not just personally, but like we're...
Yeah, just have always stood next to each other. After a while, I think you kind of look at your partner and you're like, yeah, you're not going anywhere, and I'm not going anywhere. So like, let's not, like, what the fuck is the point? Like, you're not going to find another person like me. I ain't going to find somebody else like you. We obviously love each other and respect each other. Like, just have fun.
Yeah, like the kissing thing is kind of, I mean, you didn't even really kiss anybody those nights, but like we've talked about it, we're like, if it kind of happens and like, if that's like a thing for a girl that she kind of, you know, gets turned on, that if you kiss her while you're like playing, like it doesn't bother me and vice versa.
Yeah.
And then even one of our things has always been, you finish with me. That's always been one of our kind of just boundaries. But I even told Eric that I was like, the thought of him kind of doing
that with somebody else turned you on.
And he's like, okay.
Dude, and I will say with like licking girl, for whatever reason, and I don't know the last time I ever came with a condom on.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
But it was just, when I looked at you, I was like, do you want me to come in her? Because the latex obviously was at a certain point drying out,
yeah.
You know, and it was like, shit, like I refuse to do it with you then, in the sense that I know it will hurt. And like that's not, you know, good.
Oh yeah, no, I can't use condoms when it gets too
yeah,
high,
and so and even when I was back in you without one, you were like, oh, it's already sore down there, and so I'm like, how can I make this be fun for? I was like, and when you were like, yeah, dude, I was just like, oh my god, that is so hot, and I remember just like looking at you, and I'm like, god damn, I love you.
Yeah, it was really hot. So, yes, we did some new things that we hadn't done. And we've just been on a high.
Yeah.
We were just on a high after that weekend, man.
And it's fun to just kind of keep it on that high and like just not taking it serious. I think that's the problem, is like it's not fun and you have to have all these boundaries and stuff when you're just not still in that great place even, or there's some still unresolved issues or whatever in your relationship.
And even if it's not your relationship, I'll think some of it's personal issues. Because we haven't had issues in our relationship in years. But it's also... like, if you're still struggling mentally with, oh, how am I going to feel, or this, like, even just kind of letting go of those and working through those issues personally, like, I think, and I just feel like you do get more comfortable and more secure the more experiences you have, and you try out new things. And you may have done that night, and in the moment, I might have been like, that was so fucking hot, like, yeah, babe, do it. And then later, I might have been like, oh, I got a little weird feeling after it. And then we have a conversation about it, and we communicate about it, and I tell you how I'm feeling, and you said, you know, and then, but I mean, I didn't. It was fine.
No, it was fine. You were like, that was hot. And I was like, that was hot that you thought it was hot. Okay. But no, and you do, and that's why I think it was so important for us to make this lifestyle fun again. I think we've done a good job at doing that. And just keeping it very separate, business and fun lifestyle.
I also feel like in our business, sorry, I didn't mean to go.
No, go ahead.
In our business side, we have backed off from, we always just say we stay in our lane. We have no drama. We are very careful who we work with. We have our few people that, we do events with, clubs that we like. Like we do work with ASN magazine, and we just kind of stay in our lane.
Yeah.
We don't try to be anybody else on social media. We try to be just very real and who we are. We don't try to fake anything.
This isn't a popularity contest.
Yeah,
this isn't ego. This is
we're really just trying to keep
fun.
our ego in check with it all, having lots of conversations about that. And just not crossing over with a lot of other content creators and trying to look, I'm more popular than you. We're just I've blocked hundreds of people. We just stay in our lane. We make our content that we feel is educational and fun. If people want to watch it, they can. If they don't, they can block us.
Right.
I just feel like we have done such a good job of keeping egos in check, staying in our own lane, focusing on our own business, our own lives, our families, our relationship, and not give two shits what anyone else out there is doing. Any other drama with, TikTok or Swing Talk or other podcasters, people that don't like us. You don't like us? All right, well, here's a block button. Bye.
Yeah.
I'll do you a favor. You'll never have to look at me again.
Exactly.
And it's crazy when you get that mentality that you don't fucking care.
Mm-hmm.
And when you just have Eric and I said, you focus on it more as a business and not for your ego and not for this, it just fades away.
It fades away.
Nothing
you
bothers
block
me.
everyone.
Yeah.
And it's no issues. You don't see people that you don't like. And that's the whole thing in life is this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah. And you should do that with social media anyways. If you see anybody on social media that triggers you, bothers you, says mean things to you, they invented a block button for a reason.
Yeah, if you see content and for whatever reason you're just I don't like that person, block them. It will do miracles for your mental health.
Mm-hmm. And you think I want to follow their drama, or I want to no, dude, it is so peaceful.
No. Yes.
When you forget that people exist.
Dude, it is the best when you forget that people exist, because you literally do forget that people exist, because you forget all about them.
Well, then you realize how much they don't actually impact your life.
Yeah.
We dealt with all drama and people. But once those people kind of fade away out of your life and you block them, you don't see them, they're not involved in your everyday life.
Yeah.
You're why did these people remotely have a spot in my
How did they rent space in my brain?
Yes. People should not be running space in your brain except for your your friends, your family, your kids, your partners.
The people that matter.
People that matter and that love you. And yeah, so we have done, I think, a really good job of just kind of focusing on us and our business and separating the two, looking at our business and the lifestyle in that way as a business and financially driven.
Yes.
Because that's when I think it's what's best, for our financial aspect of this business and the growth and the people we work with, things like that. And then the play side is over here where it's fun and we meet new people locally and we go to dinner with people. People take us out to dinner because they want to pick our brain and how many people we play with.
I know, and it's just fun to meet people. It's fun to meet open-minded people and like-minded people, and that you can just have a conversation with. Because otherwise, it's kind of lonely and you don't know anybody.
I know. In my teenager, I feel like we've been going out a lot lately, and even with we have some friends we do a lot of vanilla things with too, and we went out to dinner with them and go out and do things. And my daughter's you guys are have more of a social life than I do now. I'm look at us, we're so popular. But it's not that. It's just we love to
we love to just meet people.
Yeah,
and
we
hang
love
out with people.
we love taking people out to dinner, and we've met some girls in Unicorn Land. We have had. I'm sorry, I don't know if you live in Boise, Idaho.
I know you've helped.
Having success in Unicorn Landing lately. I have so many friends here locally that have had success on Unicorn Landing.
I know.
And plays good, success, and so have we. It's just been I don't know. I'm just proud of proud of the idea to come.
Yeah, because we hung out with a unicorn this month already from Unicorn Landing. Went out to dinner with her.
Yeah, we took her out to dinner on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're gonna hang out when we get back.
Oh, are we? What kind of hanging out are we gonna do? I don't know.
Maybe she'll be dessert.
Maybe she... Nom, 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 nom.
And then we're gonna hook her up with my ex-husband.
Oh my god. That is horrid. There's some...
No, I told him. I already told him. Because he's got, my ex-husband is single now, and he's got, I met this girl, and I was like, oh my God, she would be perfect for him. Like, just her personality, like, he needs to work on himself a little bit, and I said, I'm not going to subject her to that yet. But when you get your shit together, I was like, I'll see if she wants your number, because I think you guys would be perfect for each other. And Eric's like, well, do we get to play with her first? I was like, yeah, she wants to.
Yeah, she wants to play, okay.
Maybe we don't tell him that we played, though.
No.
He wouldn't care.
Probably not.
I already told him. I said I took a girl out to dinner the other night and she'd be perfect for you. He was like, oh God. Oh, I'm just kind. I'm just sharing. I want him to have a cool, laid back girl that like I get along with.
Yes.
Like that's who I want to be my son's stepmother.
Dude, I fucked your stepmom.
Stop, Eric! Okay, you took that too far.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that. That was just so
I know. As soon as I said that,
as soon as you should have never said that because it never connected in my brain, and then all of a sudden you said it, and I'm like, oh my
now
God.
I can't look him up. No.
Oh, that is
What
so
if they
funny.
fall in love and get married? Then I'm like, oh.
We'll just block that out of our brain, and we'll never mention it again.
Nope.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Trauma. Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry, I'm paying for my kids' therapy.
Exactly. We'll pay for the therapy for them all. It'll all be okay. That's
I'll
funny.
never share that information. That's funny.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, we have been just having fun and enjoying life.
And I think this also has helped our relationship a lot too. Is just enjoying life again and having fun again.
Yeah, like we're headed to the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, and we spend a lot of time doing stuff with just us. Even.
Yeah. Do you think there's anybody in the lifestyle in the Virgin Islands?
Probably.
We brought our pineapple stuff to wear.
We did.
We forgot to look it up on. Oh, I forgot to look up on Unicorn Landing if there was anyone in St. Croix.
Oh.
Because we did have. I swear there was a couple Virgin Island people on there.
Well, we'll find out when we're there.
I'll upload the. Yeah, I'll look at the app when we get there.
That's funny.
All right, so yes.
Yes.
Life cannot be all work, no play.
Truth.
Gotta find balance.
It's all about the balance and all about having fun with it.
Thank you for checking out our podcast. For more resources, check out theimpulsiveduo.com and stay tuned for our next podcast.